Okay, here's the bike as we found it. Very dusty, had been sitting since 2010. Um, you'll see it's in my storage building here. I didn't get any pictures of the barn that it was in. This is the gas tank as it looked. And here is the odometer showing that it has actually 77 miles on it. I was blown away when I figured this out. And here's after we cleaned it up. And then present day, let's look and see what this tank's got going on. All right, I forgot to turn it over last night like I thought I was going to, so I don't know what these vents, if they will leak or not when I turn it over, so I'm gonna try to plug them. May have to get a bigger piece for this other one. Got it. Alright, so I just looped that so that in case it does leak. So now I'm going to turn it over and I think we'll pop open the filler cap and see what it's looking like. It's been 24 hours. Easier said than done, full of fluid. Shake it up a little bit. Knock some of that stuff loose. And move this. Well, it'll sit right there. So now we should be well over half of the way. And we'll let it sit another 24 hours. Well, let me go find the key. And we'll open this dude up. Alright. Y'all will learn with me if we've been wasting our time or not. It definitely looks like it's not what we want. Let me get y'all in here. You can see. So that's been soaking for 24 hours and it's still pretty rusty looking. See if we can get something to see if it's loose or what. Yeah. So that's been sitting for 24 hours and still pretty rusty, but it's very loose. So it may all of this was super hard, so it's definitely doing something. But what is the question? We're not in any hurry. We're going to let it sit another day. We'll look back at it tomorrow. Okay, it's basically been 48 hours since we've filled this thing up with the evaporust. So I'm going to try to not make an entirely huge mess. And see if we can empty the tank. I feel like y'all watch my shoulder a lot. Let me change this. Okay. Maybe a little bit better angle. Not having to watch my shoulder as much. I'm new at this video and what you do and stuff, so we'll get better as we go. But like I was saying before, we're 48 hours into this tank soaking, and we took a peek 24 hours in, and it didn't leave much hope for having a crystal clear tank like I was anticipating or hoping for. But a friend of mine, shout out Jason Ford, said that our local radiator shop could vat this thing out and get it like new. So that may be step 2. Step 1 maybe, or step 33, I don't know what step we're on. But the next step should be to somehow rig up a fuel system on the bike and just see if it's going to run. But, I mean, that sounds like the smart thing to do. Doesn't sound like much fun. So, as we pull this out, it looks almost identical to when we put it in. Of course, the stuff is called evaporust, not gummy fuel evaporation. But, yeah, not much better here. We were planning on replacing the pump anyway, but I was sure hoping that it would clean up. All right, let's take a look in here. Okay, so as you can see, there's still a bunch of crud on the edge of the tank there. It did get some of it, but I guess, I don't know, maybe we need to get the solvent out and rinse it out. So next step, get that stuff back in this bucket. This should be fun. Okay, here we go. Hopefully not making a huge mess and covering my workbench in this solvent. But I'm gonna build a little bit of a moat in the event that we do. Let's dump our dirty rags out, and maybe we'll catch some of it and it won't run all over the place or all over me because, you know, because. Okay. Okay, now let's get a look down in there and see if we did anything for ourselves. So here's the solution, and if you guys remember, it was kind of a clear golden color when we put it in there, so it definitely did something, but not what we wanted it to do. We really wanted all that stuff out of there. So I think the next step is going to be to try and rig up just some sort of a fuel system. Focus. Rig up some sort of a fuel system for this thing. We'll put a battery on it, and let's just see if it'll start. So, it'll be a couple of days before I have time to do that, but I will show you guys along the way.